Do I look too out there, over the top, or do I look super hot and you're like, wow, this is my woman?
Wow, this is my, you like comes from some movie, maybe cartoon.
Hi guys, welcome to Nikki Faces Reality. I'm Nikki, and we will be unpacking Nikki and Justin Igor, whatever his name is. They have issues. It's like boiling under the surface, and I just know that it's gonna explode. This is from the latest episode of 90 Day Fiance. Nikki is in Moldova. She is happy, she's sleeping next to her hunk of a man, but she's not getting what she really wants, which is that intimate time with him. Let's start at the beginning with these two. So Nikki and Igor arrive to the apartment. She tells us that, they're in their relationship. She does help him out, but she feels like she can see where her money goes because he's very responsible. Apparently, before she got there, he asked her for money to renovate the bathroom to be more for her liking and her comfort. And she saw it and she was pleased. And that was refreshing to see because I feel like with a lot of the sugar baby situations in this show, this franchise, they're always using it towards themselves, right? So like surgery or I don't know, for things that aren't for the greater good. It's more for themselves, and I'm sure that he does use stuff just for himself, but it was nice that she saw where her money goes, It makes you feel like, okay, like maybe I'm not getting used, I would assume. They're exploring the entire apartment, which is nice, but then they get to the bedroom and she jumps on the bed and she starts making all these sexual innuendos. He gets on it and then she straddles him and she's like, oh, yes, like, and then she starts like doing all these things and he's just like, mm-hmm. I don't know if he's, making those faces because he's uncomfortable with just, being explicit in front of the camera, or is it because of after her revelation, he's just not comfortable? But she's like, so are you going to bathe me? Are you going to shower with me? And he's just like, I don't know. And I was like, this is hard, right? Because I never want to see a woman pressured into being intimate. And I never want to see a man being pressured to be intimate either. And sugar baby or not, like it feels not nice. It doesn't feel, you want like eager consent. You want someone to be excited. If they're not, don't initiate anything. And that was the beginning of a series of events of that, really. It wasn't long before they got into little squabbles about the series of things that make him feel uncomfortable about Nikki. Um, he goes to get some breakfast because he tells her that they're going to go on a date to the park. And she's like, well, I need to get ready. I need 3 hours to get ready. And he was like, I want natural. And she goes, it takes me 3 hours to look natural. And you know what? Glam girls are glam girls, right? And it's like, if you can't handle a glam girl, don't be with one. And so he says that Nikki takes the longest out of all his partners. And Nikki's like, but 17 years ago when I came to visit you in Moldova, I was the same way. So I don't understand why you're trying to nitpick at me now. Like, she just doesn't get it. And I agree with that. I think that he didn't seem to have any issues before she revealed to him that she was trans. So now I just feel like all the things that he's nitpicking at are unfair to her. Like, if you can't handle it, then don't be in the relationship. But to try to like change someone or break them down into submission is not my cup of tea. What he's doing is not okay, but his delivery is so soft and he's so handsome and it can definitely confuse you. But I really had to like just close my eyes and think about the things that he was doing and saying, and I'm like, I would have a problem with that. And Nikki's standing her ground. I think that she is problematic in the way that there's a problem with how she's like being so aggressive to someone that's not eagerly accepting those invitations. I don't think she's wrong for having those needs. I just think that her approach is not the best. But anyway, they have a fight because she's getting ready and she's taking too long. He went out to get breakfast. He came back. She's still working on her eyeliner. And they get in a little fight about it because she's like, listen, like, you can't boss me around. You can't change who I am. Like, you either get with it or like figure it out. So she lays down the law. She's like, if you want a natural girl, go get you some other Russian or something. But this, what you see is what you get. And it's true. Like, she's never faked the funk. It's not like she looked natural before she got there, and then when she goes there, she goes all out. This is her all the time. Deal with it. Or don't. Nikki does not get a hint. I think that she went to Moldova with a goal and she wants to see it through, right? And at any opportunity, she's gonna take it. So they're getting ice cream before they go sit down, and I guess the ice cream goes on her cheek, and she's like, lick it. And he's like, no. And she's like, lick it. And he's like, no, I'll get you a napkin. And then she goes to the ice cream parlor girl and she's like, can you believe my fiance won't lick my cheek? And he's like, you have a bunch of makeup. Like, I'm not going to lick that. She was just so upset about that. I know that it's deeper, but I'm just like, girl, let it go. They're at the park and, they're doing puzzles and, just like chilling. And she's like, this is nice, but I deserve a little more. That park was gorgeous. I think what would have made it a little better, maybe like lay out a picnic, make it more of an event rather than just a puzzle. But I don't think it was bad. I think that she's at the point that because her needs aren't being met, she's nitpicking at everything. I think that if she had the good D, she would be living it up in this park. Are you kidding me? So she makes sure that he knows exactly where her head is at, She's like, it's been 9 months since we've seen each other, and I have needs. You say that our relationship is just X, Y, and Z. Our relationship has to have everything. She's like, I'm doing my part financially, and I forgot which other thing she mentioned, but she's like, I'm doing my part in all these areas, and this is the part that I need you to show up in, and you're not. Like, she just doesn't comprehend how he's not all over her, because she's like, we haven't seen each other for 9 months. So, like, are you getting this from someone else? Like, there's got to be a reason. In the confessional, we see that he's like, our relationship is not one of the physical, it's one of the soul. And if you ask me, it's a lot of bullshit. I think that Igor needs to be a lot more honest with himself and with her, that he's just not he's not at the place where he's accepted it fully, that she's trans. It's very unfair to Nikki. It's very unfair. If you can't get with it, then don't be in it. But I think that he is enjoying the benefits that he does reap from this relationship. He's like, oh, I just wanted to spend more time together and rekindle our romance, because then that male energy will pop up. And I'm just like, I think you're stalling, and it's obvious. Okay, Igor Justin? He tries to wrap up the whole thing being like, I'm trying to be romantic and you're here fighting. And she's like, you know what? I'm ready to go. And so they start packing things up and start going. And he's like hugging her and trying to make her calm down. And she, like I said, she went to this trip with a goal in mind. And she's like, you're going to hear everything that I'm thinking. So before they even make it to the end of the pathway, she's like, you have 48 hours. I need to see that you're making changes towards what I need, or I'm going back home. And you could see that rattled him a bit. He's like, those are very serious steps. And she's like, and I'm a very serious person. She's like, I don't jokey joke like you do. I mean business. She feels like his shameful secret. He doesn't post her on social media. He's making comments about only wanting to be out with her at night. He makes comments about her appearance. He hasn't touched her. She feels like a shameful secret, and she's come too far for that. And here's the thing. I think that this is the way Igor acts, but just like her revelation is becoming real for him in person, I think his cold demeanor, she was able to dismiss it when she was back home, but being faced with it in person has made it all too real, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel romantic. You can't romanticize what's right in front of you. It just made it too real, and you know, she deserves to be loved out loud, and he deserves to find someone that gets him. You know, there's someone for everyone, and I just don't think that these two are it for each other. But very curious to see if he's going to make any changes or any baby steps in the 48 hours that will be enough for her. I'm also curious to see if we're going to see her meet his family now that they know too. I hope that she's remained safe out there. I don't think that these two are going to end up together. I'm very curious about them. And we'll see how it all unfolds. Definitely be keeping up with them. If you want to keep up with them too, please do subscribe to my channel. Yeah, like this video if you liked it. Let me know what you think in the comments. What are your thoughts on Nikki? What are your thoughts on Igor? What are your thoughts about their future? And I'll see you next week. Bye.